What you're looking at isn't chaos. It's a calculation, a sphere of hundreds of Japanese honeybees, vibrating, pressing, and focusing their collective will on a single point within. That point is an intruder, an Asian giant hornet, a predator that can single-handedly destroy their entire colony. But instead of thousands of individual stingers, the bees have chosen a different weapon. They've chosen physics. This isn't a frenzied mob. It is a biological furnace, a highly coordinated, living weapon system that has been refined over millions of years of evolution. The bees aren't just attacking, they are performing a very specific and very hot execution. The temperature inside this ball is climbing rapidly. The bees achieve this through a process called collective thermogenesis. Each bee is vibrating its thoracic flight muscles, but without moving its wings. Think of it like shivering, but on a massive, coordinated scale. This is the same mechanism they use to keep their hive warm during the winter, but here it's been weaponized. The goal is to raise the temperature inside the core of the ball to a precise, deadly threshold, 47 degrees Celsius, or about 117 degrees Fahrenheit. It's an astonishing feat of biological engineering, turning hundreds of small, cold-blooded bodies into a single, functional oven. But why 47 degrees? Because it's a number that exists on a razor's edge. The Asian giant hornet has an upper thermal limit of about 46 degrees Celsius. Go beyond that, and its vital proteins begin to denature. Its nervous system fails. The Japanese honeybees, however, have a slightly higher tolerance. They can withstand temperatures up to 48, sometimes even 50 degrees Celsius. This 1 to 2 degree difference is the entire battlefield. It is an evolutionary sweet spot. The bees are pushing their own physiology to the absolute limit, walking a tightrope where they can kill their enemy without killing themselves. A degree lower, and the hornet survives. A few degrees higher, and the bees cook themselves along with their foe. Coordinating hundreds of individuals to perform this precise task requires incredible communication. When a hornet is detected, guard bees release an alarm pheromone. But it's more than just a chemical signal. It's a call to action that propagates through the hive in seconds. Bees don't just pile on randomly. The first bees to attack the hornet formed the core, initiating the vibration. Others quickly pile on in layers, with the outer bees acting as an insulating blanket, trapping the heat generated by the inner bees. This structure is crucial. Without the insulation, the heat would dissipate too quickly. The ball is both an oven and a thermos. And yet, the heat is only half of the weapon. Think about being in a small, sealed room with hundreds of other people, all breathing heavily. The oxygen level would plummet, and the carbon dioxide level would skyrocket. The same thing is happening inside the bee ball. The bees' frantic vibrations and respiration create a state of hypercapnia, dangerously high levels of CO2. For the hornet, it's a two-front war. Its body is being cooked from the outside by hyperthermia, while its respiratory system is being suffocated from the inside by a lack of oxygen and an excess of carbon dioxide. This dual-pronged attack is far more effective than either method alone, ensuring a rapid and certain shutdown of the hornet's metabolic systems. Why don't all honeybees do this? If you were to place a giant hornet near a hive of European honeybees, the kind most common in North America, the result would be a slaughter. The European bees, Apis mellifera, would try to sting it, a futile effort against the hornet's thick armor. They would be picked off one by one. They never evolved this thermal defense because they never had to. They spent millions of years in a different part of the world, facing different predators. The Japanese honeybee, Apis cerana japonica, co-evolved with the Asian giant hornet. The bee ball is a ghost of millions of years of predation, a defensive memory encoded directly into their genetics. It's a living relic of an ancient evolutionary arms race. The bee ball is a last resort, a massive expenditure of energy and risk. So the bees have an earlier, more subtle defense. If a lone hornet scout approaches the hive, the guard bees perform a synchronized, shimmering wave across the hive entrance. This isn't a random dance. It's a specific, undulating signal known as an I see you wave. It's a message. The bees are communicating to the predator that they have been spotted, that the element of surprise is lost, and that the colony is prepared to defend itself. Often, this visual deterrent is enough. The scout, realizing it has lost its advantage, will abandon the attack and seek an easier target, saving both sides the costly conflict to come. But how does a decentralized colony of thousands decide to form the ball? There's no single leader giving an order. It's a beautiful example of swarm intelligence. The initial alarm pheromone and defensive vibrations from the first few bees act as a trigger. This signal propagates, but not every bee joins immediately. A bee needs to receive signals from a certain number of its neighbors before it too joins the ball. It's a cascade, an algorithm based on local information that leads to a global behavior. The ball only forms when a critical mass, a quorum, of bees has been activated. This ensures the hive doesn't waste immense energy on a false alarm, but can react with overwhelming force in fractions of a second when the threat is real.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.